I've got a Yamadori collected tree. It's a Port Jackson fig, commonly known as a rusty fig. This was collected from a brick wall a number of years ago. So this bottom part was growing on a ledge. This was in the corner of the wall. I never cut through this because then there'd be a massive scar. I've left it the way it is. This branch here, I'll just get rid of this little thing just so you can see it. There's a cut here. I would have chopped a bit of dye back or whatever, but this was still alive, this root. It reshot over here, and whether or not I decide to keep this all together or just lose it, just chop it and be done with it. It just feels out of place. So the initial styling of this tree, it had a fairly strong branch here and one here. You can see some of the minor wire bite. This thing thickened up really quickly. And I've sort of not knowing what to do with it. This part leans towards you. I'll just give you a spin. So this was the front of the tree originally, because the other side was back to the wall. So this part was where the bricks were. This part was facing outwards. So I've got a big taproot that made it all the way down here. When I put this thing into potting mix, it didn't look back. It just got stronger and stronger and healthier, like it was really struggling where it was growing. It had this break up the top, side on. It's got a bit of a curve this way. So when it was on the wall, I think it was like that. So I've rolled him in here. I've got a bit of shape, and then this branch here curves back around. I don't know what to do with that, whether I dock it, lose it, or what, or just go nuts, like just let it grow feral. I'm just going to take off a few things that shouldn't be where they are, just because they're interfering. I think I'm just going to give this a bit of a haircut, bit of a chop. So I won't get in there. Just to understand what sort of a tree is going to be formed out of this bit of stock. So I've got this branch coming this way, and then I've wired this over here because it was sort of growing up, so I rolled him over. So I'm just trying to fill pockets. These guys will probably take off. They need wiring. This could use with some wiring. Up here I've got a big cut that was made. You can see the wire scar, wire bite. And then it's reshot out here. So this shoot has come out pretty strong, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 coming out of one area, which is all right for healing over the original cut, but it also contributes to swelling. So I might just get rid of these smaller guys on the inside. Okay. I might keep this guy. If I wanted to, I could probably take this off here and just train this out as a pad. Then for a leader, I'd probably select this up. But this is very heavy, very heavy. This, I don't know whether I want to cut that off. If this is the front of the tree, it's not in a very practical position. It looks very low, very, very low branch. So there's lots of decisions to be made with moving forward with this bit of stock. So far I've got this thing wrapping up around. If I make the big chop here, then it's just a pad. And then I've got this one out this side that could be just weighed down like a pad, and maybe lose that back one or train the back one out around there a bit more. But it's quite congested in here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I'm a bit confused on what to do with this guy. Just open him up a little bit. Maybe it'll become more apparent when I start removing some of the tips out. I'm going to chop that back there. So whether or not I keep this because it's very tight in here, open it up, get some air in. Maybe I'll do the same down here. I like that growing that way. Right. Whether I keep that, geez, tough decision. That can be wide and trained in any position, just like this guy. They're quite soft. Maybe I just get back in on this a little bit harder. Just take the tips. All the other plants that I've just recently tipped have bounced back really good. I've got to pull them up so you can see them, how good they're growing. That way, coming into autumn, I'll be able to look at it and go, okay, that's what it was like. And then when spring hits, that'll be the big growth spurt. Maybe I just go nuts and just chop this right back. It wouldn't bother me to actually lose a lot of this foliage. Yeah, I'll just shorten it up, I think. It's getting a bit lanky. Maybe I'll leave that as an option. Do I want this? Some of these tips are really thick and the leaf size is getting up there. Lots of good sap coming out of it. It's bleeding. Okay, I've got a big tip here. I'm just gonna, leaf size is way too big. Way too big. Oh, we're starting to get a bit of an ogle at what we're dealing with. Do that. I don't like this upward facing branch, but that could be rolled over, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be another wire job by the look of it. So yeah, normally when you take a collected tree, I'm going to come in hard here, no leaves. I don't think I'll get dye back from this guy. Never really showed any major problem with being cut in the past. It all pretty much came back good. It's due for a repot. It's been in this soil for a couple of years. Just due to my slackness, nothing has happened. And the problem is with normal potting mix, it's a lot heavier, and that's a big pot, big heavy pot. What do we got up here? Maybe I'll just shorten up. So some of these I've shortened quite a bit. That's growing straight up. I don't really want that. So this is sticking out like a sore thumb. Okay, I'll pick this one to grow out. That's a bit leggy. Bugger it. So at least I can compact this a bit more. I'm wondering if I lose this. So I've pretty much given it a bit of a hit. What to do? I could cut that there and bring this around like a new leader. Then I've got a bit of movement on it. I was wondering if I should make a cut right here. Just gone. There's that too. But this is quite healthy the way it's coming up. I still feel like shortening that length. And if I was to shorten it, that'd be the cut to make, I'd say. And this thing will back bud. Some of these might take off. Shortening it is probably the option I have right now. I keep looking at this thing. Just draws my eye. It's irritating as. So if it's this way, it's really nothing. Maybe I take that stump off completely. It had an aerial root on it and all. So I think this has to be docked completely. And then I have to cut this root. I don't see the benefit of having that bit of stump, dead end. And what it was producing was a little branch out the side. So I'm contemplating probably sawing this, taking it down. So there's a fair bit of root here. Maybe I'll do that with the next repot. Cut through here, eliminate this. There'll be a scar there. And redo the soil. Leader. This isn't really doing much at all. If that was a back branch or forward branch. This one, it seems more like a side branch to me. Out here maybe. The way this is growing, I could probably take this top section off and use that movement. So I haven't really identified a good front. I mean, this looks okay, but this has a lot of character as well, with all these chunks taken out of it and these roots that have grown back. Once I grow this, chop this, I can grow that as the front because it comes towards you and then around. And this could be just a side branch. yeah, it's sort of a bit of an odd looking tree, something different that I've never had in my collection. It was pretty straight looking thing there, but from here you get movement. So maybe I could change this to the front, cut at the back, shunk, take that off. Probably lose that. I don't know how that would look if that was the new front. Put a pad out there. Maybe that could be the front, because you got the left and right and this comes up. But I still think that's out of place. It looks too low. The fact that something grew there, I gave it an opportunity to grow and develop. It's like, what do I do with it? Do I keep it? But I gave it a chance. I left it on there just so I could see. These bloody ants piss me off. Yeah, I feel like doing some drastic cuts. That would be one to say goodbye to. I don't like the fact that I've got 1, 2, 3 all together. This area is very, very congested. It is trainable, but it's clashing with that. This feels more trainable than that. I think the area isn't right. But in this position, they could fill out as back branches. Oh, did I just break a tip off? Yeah, I'm really struggling with this one. But this dieback, I'm wondering if I get the big loppers on it and cut it and see how it looks. There'll be a fresh cut there then. Yeah, I'd love some pointers with this tree. Really feel that this is quite tall, but I'm getting layers, trying to develop layers. I think I'm going to lose this, because then we're starting up here, not down there. Yeah, I'd love to hear an opinion on that. This bloody thing. So it interferes with the front, if that's the front. If that's the front, it even looks too low for a back branch, in my opinion. After this cut, there's potential for a back bud. Maybe it'll throw out something new, but then it'll take me another couple of years to get something up to this size, I'd say. I could potentially dock this completely, get rid of that, big curve. Yeah. I don't like the way that's growing that way. It shouldn't be there. Gone. I think I've got to make some big cuts, or just be really patient. So this is the other one I'm thinking about cutting. I'll just lose this yellow leaf. It's pointless. It's pulled all the nutrients out of it. Whether I keep this or chop it and then just focus on this. Yeah, difficult decision. Christ, if I had $1 for every time I said that. This is coming way over. Just leave one leaf on for now. So I've got the 3 growing there. That's probably not what I want. Maybe I'll take this inward growing one. And train them out to grow out to the back. I've got 3 growing in the one spot, and that's what you don't want. I think that'll add to the taper, reverse taper. And obviously train this around. Whether or not I do the chop on this thing, it's all dead anyway. I know some people like the deadwood look, the gin look, but the wood on these things is so bloody soft. It's pointless exercise. The ants get in there and they just smash it. Like even down in here, I can see the bark coming away, as you can see here. I think I might have to just chop that back and try and get it to heel over. So I'll be chopping it back down there. I've never done it. I've left it from the day I collected it, and that's what it turned into. So today's the day. It's going to get its lucky haircut. Get rid of him and try and get a good angle on it. Can I get in there this way? I'll come back that way like that. Right, we're going to put a heavy cut on it. There it is, it's done. So I've cut it on living tissue. It doesn't appear to be that sappy. There's a little bit of sap here, but I don't think it was pushing up much sap past these points. So it's just dead wood. So from here, big change. Man, it looks like it's had its head chopped off. Starting to wonder if I just nibble it out, get it down to the level of this, but this isn't even growing up like a leader. It's growing like a side branch, which is, I don't know. So that was the front of the tree. I want my scar going back away from you like that. So depending on the front is going to be the decision on what would be the leader off the main trunk coming forward. Because we've got these side branches. This is acting like a leader now that I've folded it up. I can always just go chop, keep it low, chop that one, keep it low, and maybe grow this one forward into this position, put a cut back there, and lose that. There's a lot going on in one little area, unfortunately. It's very, very different. So if I was to take that off, yeah, I could cut back down there and then run that as the new lead. Yeah, that means I'd chop all the way through here. I'd probably take this off and then come from this branch to this branch, nibble that out, probably pull that taproot. Or I could try doing what other people do, is cut the taproot and try and aerial root, put it on the bark and see if it would fuse or fusion, whatever. But I don't think it really needs it. It's very straight. It looks good down the bottom here, but I don't know. Struggling to make a decision. Really am. It's very straight. There's no taper. And if I do take that off, then from here up to there is some form of taper, which would probably improve the tree. So that'd be the cut. And then this, yeah. I think I just need a bit of encouragement, a bit of confidence, because once I do it, I can't put it back on. It's a big cut, not taken lightly. Can I get in there? Jeez. Maybe I'd take it from this side, like that. Can I get in there like that? Ooh, it's a bit... I'm scuffing up the wood, the bark. That might work. Well, there it is. I could probably just nibble that out now. Give it a bit of a tune up. No regrets. What's done is done. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this. It just feels out of place. It needs to be trained around there. If that's the front. I don't know, maybe I could try and hide that cut with that branch, but I don't know, going crazy over this one. Maybe I chop it all through there. Then I've left it with just 2 branches and this thing that I'll probably just chop anyway. But I might just leave it. I might just leave this on. I'll nibble this out, take that root, and just see how it looks. I think I'll just give it a bit of a cut, take it down. It's producing some sap, so that's good. We're getting it down now. I've got some cleaning up to do after I do this. Alright. That's the beauty of these figs, is they're nice and soft. They're really easy to cut. If I was doing this with a maple, I'd be struggling big time. I used to have maples, but I just sort of stuck with the ficus because it's great for beginners. Because I'm such an amateur, it suits my style. Yeah. How we looking? Maybe take a bit of this back. Alright, I wasn't planning on doing that, but once I start cutting up trees, I tend to get a bit carried away. Yeah. So if I was to continue, I'd continue down to the top of this branch and lose this altogether. It would increase the scar sizing. What would help me with this scar is leaving this on. This is going to provide bark over this, and this will provide bark there. So I'll just come down a little bit lower to help encourage the bark to roll up over him. I know some people get right into them very deep, and maybe that's something I'm not doing enough of. Well, there it is. I've given her a bit of curry. It's now just a trunk with a really weird looking leader looking at that position. Could that be a front there? Train this in a bit lower. Roll this down. Bring that this way. Maybe I give this a bit more weight. Put a big heavy wire on it for now just to get him down. Maybe I'll put that big piece of wire on and have a look at changes made. So if I'm going to wire, I'll wire those two, I reckon. Alright, got that big piece of wire. So let's have a look at what we're going to do. That taproot, arrowroot, sorry, is a bit of a shitty spot. Alright, let's go here. Alright, so I'll just tie this off. Okay, that should be anchored off now. Wire size is a bit of an overkill, but that's alright. It's a bit thicker, a bit heavier. Just need to hold it in position. That's all the wire does. Go watch that guy. I'll get around here and give that some movement that way. Alright. Can I flex him? I'll just push that over like that. I'll probably end up shortening this one. Pull him around. Do I take him up? Jeez, I never thought about that, what I can and can't do. I'm like, what am I going to do with this guy? There's some movement anyway. That's a little bit of movement. If that does become the new leader, I've got this guy down here. I really like to get him held down actually. That wire is probably not enough to hold. So I'm just going to put a bit of wire here. Yeah, maybe I'll just pull it over this. It's actually on my wire, it's not actually on the branch. So I've got wider wire here. So I could chop this, but it's still trainable. Now, has that made a difference? Should this be pulled down as well? Jeez. Maybe I should encourage growth in different location, like areas away from that one. Bring it this way. Maybe this isn't a good idea at all, this branch. Really stumped with it, really stumped. And let's hit this anyway, get some back budding going. One leaf on again. I can also shorten this down because it is so strong. Let's go here. There it is. I just sort of wanted to pull it back, but really enjoyed the growth. This is the dominant sort of branch of all of them that I started on, and I cut it so I can move back this way, away from this leader, if that's the case. Because I got movement here, I've brought it back. Still leaving the decision to keep this thing. It's a bit of a tough one. From that position, this is overlapping that branch, so this tree might need a new front. Bloody ants. Anyway, how does it look? Yep, the front is the problem I have with this stick at the moment. Trying to figure out what would be a suitable front. But yeah, I'll throw him in the glass house for winter. Maybe I'll just keep this guy on for now. His ants are bloody out of control. We've got a lot of rain at the moment. There's a cyclone. Well, it was a cyclone that just got downgraded to a rain depression in Brisbane. Surf's up. Everyone's out in the water. Yahoo. Everyone's laughing about it because Australians are different. We run towards danger instead of running away from it. The Aussie mentality. Let's go and play in the dangerous surf. Let's get into it. Oh, that rain's coming on. I think that's all I'm going to do for this video. I'm just going to probably look back at it and go, maybe I do make that cut. Maybe this is too long with not much ramification. If I take this off, then this will blow out a pad better. And then I'll work on this leader. I've got another branch out here, another branch there. I could probably twist that around, maybe raise this up. I don't want to snap it, but it could be a potential. All right, to be continued. Maybe next time you see this tree, there might be this cut off. I'm still looking at it going, just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it. You know what? I'll look back at it and go, I'm glad I did that. It's gone now. So here we go. Another big cut. Okay. That wasn't so hard, was it? That's been taken. There's another root there. Okay, it's done. I could almost probably brought that root around, which I could do in the next repot, and get this root to grow over the scar. Maybe it'll help it out. Maybe it'll help it heal. I'm just going to get into it a little bit deeper to help it heal up. Just nibble it out a bit. Okay, I really want this to heal over. Okay, I don't have that big knob sticking out anymore. Would have been good if that was a branch though. But unfortunately, that's what you get. That's the cookie, the way the cookie crumbles. All right, I think I've done enough tree torture for the afternoon. I can upload this and look back at it at another year's time and go, yeah. The tree that I don't understand. And at the end of the day, you can just do a trunk chop and just start from just a base with these guys and turn it into a banyan. At the moment, it's no real style that I can sort of see. I mean, even windswept, I'd have to bring everything one way. Informal upright, there's hardly any movement unless this is what it is. But this section is so straight. I really have to make a decision on that. Because if it is the front here coming forward, I don't know. Please leave a comment if you think this tree is a lost cause. Maybe I'm just, looking at something that's well above my ability when it comes to creativity. But yeah, I think I've made progress by getting rid of that stump and that pointless leader with dieback, and it really wasn't pushing up much nutrients. This is strong because of this aerial root. This aerial root's feeding this. So this might take off, given it a tipping and all that. I can always shorten these two side branches, bring them back in, and maybe keep this. So you got 1, 2, 3, and then you got 1, 2. Yeah, I think I'll leave it, see how it bounces back. If I see something I like, I'll probably wire it into shape if it throws out something new. But the biggest thing is finding a good front. because if this is the front, that has to go. And I've got this back branch that hooks around to the side. First branch out here that runs down. If this is the front, this grows towards you and hooks around there. And I've got a side branch, and then that should be rolled over to a back branch out there, like out here. So, based on the decision, what's the front? Yeah, I'd love to hear someone's feedback. Look, mate, you got it all wrong. You don't know how to do bonsai to save your life. But anyway, this is just a tree being chopped up, wired into place, and just seeing what happens with it. But it's definitely getting a repot. And I think I'm running out of time, but I've got a 30-degree day coming up. Nice, hot, warm weather, because these things get pissed off in the cold. Apparently you can do anything to them on a hot day. They love it. They love the weather. But yeah, I've got them all out in the glass house because it's only 24 degrees at the moment. But yeah, we're in for a cool one. Anyway, there's the Port Jackson fig. Collected tree from growing up on a wall. Probably about 5 meters off the ground. I spotted him and went, there's a natural bonsai. Because when they're growing natural like that, you put them in dirt, they just take off. They thrive. They really love it. And yeah, all I've done with this thing is thrown some wire on and made some big cuts like here. You can see my wire bite. And that's just been really favoured. Very, I'm just going to give this a bit of a, you know what I mean? Just to get that to heal a bit better, make it a bit flusher. But you can see how much growth there's been since I've cut it. So this branch was probably a centimetre, 10 millimetres. And this thickness has happened in the 12 months of this thing growing. So that was the last time I cut it. And then there. This one should be tapered as well, I think, because it's on the piece a bit. Just make it heal a bit better. There we go. Oh, the fish are wanting to be fed. I've got some koi as well. So there you go. I think I'm all done for today. Those two shouldn't be growing like that. Oh, you just saw that. So just here I've got 2 branches growing out from one another. Just take the bottom one out. That way it's coming out on a side-on angle. Yeah, all right, so there she is. The project, one of many. Anyway, hope you were entertained watching me butcher another tree into submission. I'll do it all again one day. But yeah, I'll look back at it and go, I made the right choice. I've definitely changed the movement of the tree coming up into here rather than this big donger hanging up there. All right, guys, I'm going to go put him outside. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep the rubber side down. See ya.